Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Gregg's Vintage Workshop, where I'm working to restore history one piece at a time. Tonight we're doing something a little bit different. I've got a new printer in, and although this has nothing to do with me restoring radios, it does in a way because I'm using it to print some parts that I need here and there. But that's not the purpose of this particular video tonight. Right now you're looking at my Creality Ender 3 Pro, and it's in the process of starting to print a lithophane. A lithophane is basically a photo that's printed. I've done a couple of them now for my wife, and they've turned out really nice. I'm doing this one a little bit different. I usually do them on edge. This one's laying flat. But anyway, I digress. The reason that this video is coming to you is because I'm putting together my new printer, which, if I back up, you can see this printer. Much bigger print bed. This is the Mingda Rock 3 Pro, and this is actually the second video that I have done. This one is out of the box already, it's not assembled. I actually started a video a couple days ago for my first Rock 3 Pro and made it through a bunch of the assembly when I noticed that there was a sticker, or seal if you would, on the bottom of the printer that said on their warning, if this seal is broken, warranty is void. Well, the seal was broken. This was after I'd already started putting it together. And at first I wasn't going to do anything about it. I was like, oh well, whatever, you know, it's probably going to be fine. But the more I thought about it, I was like, if I'm going to spend $500 for something, I don't want it to be received by me, supposedly brand new, with a seal that is broken. Because to me, that makes it sound like, oh, maybe it had a problem and somebody else turned it back. And they worked on it, maybe corrected it, but they didn't put a new seal on it, or maybe it was never corrected. I don't know. So I contacted Amazon, who I bought it through, and they're like, yeah, we don't warrant that. It's up to the vendor to warrant it, but you've got 30 days to return it. And I said, well, how about if we just return it? Because I said, I want this printer. They said, well, can we just send you a replacement? I said, sure. So almost only 2 days later, I have the new printer here. So it's out of the box already. The original video, I had the unboxing, but tonight I don't, because when it came in this morning, the first thing I wanted to do was make sure that that seal was intact. And yes, indeed, the seal is intact on this one, so I feel much better about it. So we're going to go ahead and put this together tonight and see if it's going to work or not. So I'm going to put you guys on a tripod and we'll get started. Okay, so before I put you on the tripod, I want to show you a couple of features on this printer that I need to show you up close. And one is it is color touchscreen display, 3.5 inch. It also has a full-size SD card instead of a micro SD card. And it also uses the old style really good printer port for hooking up USB to your computer. The other thing is that it has 2 rails for this versus a single rail. The Creality has a little, well, it's a little printer, but it has a single rail in the middle. This one actually has dual rails, one here and one here. And it also has an adjustable Y axis. That's good. The other ones are not that adjustable. I mean, they are. You have to use wrenches, but at least on this one, it's a thumb nut. So that's pretty cool. Let me show you a couple other things. I want to get my flashlight here. The bottom of the bed is fully insulated, the full width and length within a 1/2 inch of the edges. It also is built with the heavy-duty springs that everybody likes to have. It was well packaged. You can see it's still got some foam blocks underneath there, but this thing was in, 4 or 5 inches of the nice soft foam. So they did a really good job on it. So the bed has 4 rollers. They're all adjustable. You can see the hex nut on there. And I will adjust these once I get you on the tripod. The other thing I'll show you is one of the features I liked about this one. It is a direct drive extruder versus a Bowden tube extruder. And instead of using the flexible wire looming, which is fine, I use a heavier gauge cable. So that's nice. The one thing that I don't care much about is I'm going to have to print a support back here because although this is a Molex connector and well done, there's nothing really to support these wires from bending over time and ultimately breaking. So I want to print a support back here for that. It is a glass bed. It's the glass that has the little, it's a texture basically on top of the glass that helps it stick. It's the same thing I've got right now on the Ender 3 Pro. I actually put the new glass bed on it because I was having issues with that magnet one that's on there. But those are a few things I want to show you. It's full metal, everything's full metal on it. I can't open the bottom up obviously because it has the seal on there that I don't want to break, so we're going to assume everything's good there. I do want to check I will flip it over and check my input voltage on the power supply, but that's all I'm going to do, and I probably won't even show you that. This thing's big and heavy, so I'm going to have to carefully flip it over and check that, but I'll bring you guys back after I got that taken care of and we're on to the next step. Now, one of the nice things that comes with this printer is they've got the tools. Most printers all come with tools. This one actually they came in like a nice little tool kit. Let's open it up and see what's in here. So that's that nice USB cable I was telling you about. It's actually a very nice cable. We've got the Allen wrenches. We got the full-size SD card. We got hardware to put it together with in a baggie. Got a little piece of Bowden tube. I have a feeling this is for the filament runout sensor guiding, or the guide into the direct drive, I'm not sure. Has a wrench. I mean, all of them come with wrenches, but they're all usually pressed steel. This is actually a wrench. That's actually kind of nice. It's actually got a wrench, a real wrench. And no pliers, no cutters, which is a shame, but I have some anyway. I got a spare nozzle and another little piece of tubing. It don't look like Bowden tubing. I guess that's it. So what I need to do now is I need to adjust these rollers. I took the foam out from underneath there, and the roller in the front on this side, I can spin it very easily with my fingers. The roller in the back, I can't. I can spin it a little bit, not much. Got a lot of tension on it. On this side here, the roller in the front feels about right. The roller in the back's too loose. So I got to adjust these. So I think I'm going to start on this side here first. And that one in the back, like I said, that one feels about right. This one on the front's a little loose, so I need to, if I can get this tightened up. Now I don't know which way to spin this thing. I mean, I can spin that hex nut pretty easy. I'm going to go ahead and do this side. Okay, so that one feels pretty good. This one's too loose here, so let's see if we can adjust these. Maybe not, because that really feels loose. Maybe just a smidgen more. It feels pretty good, actually. Alright, I think that feels pretty good. I think that feels pretty good. Alright. Belt feels pretty good. It's a little tight. Loosen it up a midgie. Yeah, because they don't need to be banjo strings. Okay. So now we'll look at the instructions now that I went ahead and adjusted the bed. So if we look at the instruction sheet, it says step one is we're going to install the gantry. Now the gantry is pretty special about this particular printer too, and was another reason that I purchased this one. See if I can get this where you can see it. I guess I'm going to have to stand in front of you better for it to show up. So it's dual stepper motors, dual shafts, and they're tied together with the belt. It's pretty nice, and they're in ball bearings at the top. It's I like the idea. It's heavier duty. Obviously, it's a bigger printer, so the X bar is bigger in width this way than like the other printer is. So I mean, the whole thing is built heavier duty, and it should be pretty stable. So it's time to put this on. See if we can get it on. Hopefully you're in frame. And you got to make sure we don't catch any of our wiring and pinch it. Definitely a tight fit, which the screws go in from the side on this versus on the from the bottom. Be pushed over slightly. It might be that I need to get this gantry up in order for that to happen. Since they're tied together, I can actually spin this up. If I get the bar at the top, then we should have a little more play to play with it at the bottom. Probably have to get more than halfway up for it to actually. I'll move you guys in closer so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing here. So I'm not sure how much of that we're catching. Let's see what we can do now. I don't know if it needs to. There we go, like that. I think it just went. Yep, there it goes. All right, it's down. So this uses two big screws going from the side, and then two small screws that go in from the side. I'm going to get them in place. I get you down lower and you see what I'm talking about. I'm going to get them in place, and then before I tighten them, I'm going to square them up with some 1, 2, 3 blocks that I made. Block here, make sure everything's vertical before I tighten this down. That looks good right there. That way we know that the gantry is square to the body of this thing anyway. Right. Yep, that's good. Alright, so just tightening these down. Fine line on this stuff because you're going into aluminum and you don't want to go too tight where you strip it out, but you got to make sure that they're good and snug. So we got the two big ones on each side, and then we got the two backup ones. I don't know, I think the design where the bolts come up from the bottom might be a little bit better. Alright, check that. Yep, looks good. Okay. Now we got the little ones. I'll get these started, and then I'm going to tighten them on up. Ain't no sense me tightening them on up on camera. I'm taking all this time, so I'll bring you back when I get that for the next step. Okay, gantry's all installed, and the bolts are all tight, and we're getting ready to do step 2, which is install the motor cover. Get the right Allen wrench here. I think that's it right there. I'll be ready to put the motor cover on. So here is the motor cover. The X motor cover. And I've got a couple wires that need to go in. I've got a motor wire here, and I've got the two switch wires here. I'll get those on. These are insulated boots. And there we go. I think they're both on there. Alright, and then we got the motor one over here, which I'm going to insert once I get the screws in. Top screw is going to be right here. Alright, and push our wires up in there a little bit. Get our second screw and put it in the bottom right here. There we go. They don't have to be super tight. I don't have to use the short end of my wrench. We're going in, that's plastic. It will cover there's plastic, so it don't have to be, you know, super tight. Plug the motor in. Just plug the motor in. That's in. Alright, step 3. Install the printing head. Should use 4 of these little screws. Now let me get you back where you can see where the printing head's going on at. So we're going to go like that. And then we go from the back straight in there. I'm not going to tighten them all down until I get them all in. The first one's in. Got the 2 bottom ones. That one went. Alright. Put it in there. Okay, that's pretty tight. Alright, that was step 3. Let's see what step 4 is. Alright, step 4 is we are going to install this filament holder. It's all metal, no plastic on it. Got a nice bracing on it, and it actually has the, if I can get it where you guys can see it, it's got the filament sensor on here, which seems loose, but it's a lock nut. I can tighten it down a little bit to keep it from being so floppy, but I think they want it sort of floppy, so don't put the filament in the bind, because as you can see, if the filament comes down, however the filament's going to come down, it's either going to have to come over here and then head back that way, or it's going to come like here and down that way, which is probably the way I'm going to run it. Let's see if I can get this thing screwed down here. One started. I like this all metal filament holder. The ender's got a plastic one. Yeah, it gets the job done. I mean, it's not like I've had any problems with it. It's not like it has fallen off or anything. But I like metal. That's one of the things that attracted me to this particular unit, was the all metal construction. A 30-pound printer. Alright, finish tightening this and we'll come to the next step. Alright, this is the filament detector, and that's the next step, is to plug this in. Looks like the nails go to the top. Alright, so we're back, and I've got it in the process of printing right at the moment. Pretty much everything else I did after our last little bit that I had on here was just go through and plug the motors in, plug the filament sensor in, hung a spool on there, got it all put in there, adjusted my bed height, put the profile in my Cura. That's printing. So here's the color touchscreen. Obviously I can't touch it now because it's in the process of printing. But the printer is actually very quiet. Other than the fan, I can hear the fan noise. But that's pretty much it. It's got a little light down there. It's like a LED light that changes colors. The green one going on there, the blue one. But yeah, so it's going. We'll see see how this print turns out. I haven't done anything to anything except level the bed, so we'll see how this goes, and I'll bring it back once it's printed. This is called CaliCat. It's a calibration cat. So we'll see how it comes through here. But yeah, I'm liking it so far. I hope it does a good job with that. Touchscreen is very capable as far as being able to react to your finger touch. So we'll see. Okay, so it's back to work. It's printing a strain relief that I designed on Tinkercad to support the cable back there for the bed. And as far as CaliCat, this is CaliCat. Actually turned out pretty good. So I ran CaliCat in what's called draft mode, which is actually one of the less precise ones. There's actually like 3 more finer detailed ones in draft, but I wanted to see what it did like in draft, and it did a pretty good job. Yeah, not too bad. We're going to see. I mean, I got to play with things, I got to play with settings and stuff, but for very first print off of it, I'm pretty happy with that. I guess we'll call this printer a success at this point. Anyway, it's quiet, as everybody you can hear. All you can probably hear is the fan. Well, a little bit of noise on it, but not a lot. Yeah, the build for this is 320 by 320 by 400, so it's one of the bigger ones out there, and that's why I wanted the bigger one. There's some bigger things I want to create with it, and this will allow me to do that. It's a little faster than what the other printer is. So that's my new Mingda Rock 3 Pro. Thank you for watching Gregg's Vintage Workshop, and we will be back with some radio, I promise. Thanks for watching.